Hey, Reject Nation.
Oh, wait, okay, sorry.
Damn it, Rachel!
Sorry!
Hey, Reject Nation. It's Greg Alva here with Adorkable Rachel, who I emotionally abuse when the camera's not rolling. We are going to watch today an honest trailer for The Incredible Hulk.
Oh, yes.
You've seen this movie, right?
Yes. Honestly, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yes, it
since
has.
I've seen this movie. I'm excited for it, too. It might be my least favorite Marvel movie.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
Damn it, Rachel!
God! Sorry! Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye.
All right, let's do this.
Okay, no.
I really like the finale of this movie, and I like the action scenes in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I think everything in between is kind of dull.
It's not the best. I think my least favorite is probably Thor: Darkness.
Oh, you're just going with a popular opinion.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, you must hate Age of Ultron.
I mean, I was never a huge Thor fan until Ragnarok came out. This one though is like, it's okay. I always keep fantasizing though. I remember in the past, the last time I watched it, I was like, I want to see this movie but with Mark Ruffalo in it. I don't know. I'm just so used to Mark Ruffalo now as the Hulk.
He is the defining Hulk. Screen Junkies on his trailer.
Woo!
Let's do it.
My friend John Bailey.
John Bailey. And speaking of John Bailey, actually, we did an Infinity War movie review that has an opening sketch on there, and the shirt I'm wearing in it, I borrowed from John Bailey.
There you go. That's nice of him.
Thim. That's nice of Thim.
That's nice of him.
John Bailey.
That's nice of him, if I can talk English today.
Go.
Yes.
From Marvel Studios and Universal comes the second movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that we're doing an honest trailer for because Infinity War is coming out. We've already done all the other MCU movies, and Black Panther isn't on Blu-ray. The Incredible Hulk. Meet Bruce Banner. No, not the one people like.
I know.
Who's that? He never played the Hulk, did he?
Yep.
No, you know the one I'm talking about. The Death to Smoochie guy. There he
There
is.
you go.
Edward
Norton
Norton
shines as the first Marvel actor to show off how many crunches he did for the part.
Yeah.
And he's bringing his incredible range to a role that has him act like he's on Xanax.
I know a few techniques could help you manage that anger very effectively.
While off camera, he's bringing his incredible ego to a full part of the script with the fake name Edward Harrison. Do you want to get
That
Terrence
was his
Howarded?
name.
Because that's how you get Terrence Howarded. Join Bruce for a story where he runs away from the military, and runs away from the military again.
Essentially the whole movie.
But sometimes when his little Fitbit thingy hits 200, he'll turn into the Hulk, an unstoppable rage monster that's actually a huge danger to the entire planet, the economy of Brazil,
The economy of
So
Brazil.
random.
and all of Harlem.
See, I like that vibe.
Yeesh, I'm glad he flew off to not Planet Hulk. There wouldn't be an Earth left for Thanos to punch. Before Gwyneth Paltrow took a 4-year hiatus, and before Natalie Portman took an indefinite absence,
I dumped her. It's a mutual dumping.
Liv Tyler dropped off the face of the MCU without so much as an Easter egg. Stand and smile as the actress spends most of the movie standing and smiling as she doesn't get anything or even anyone to do.
I can't get too excited.
Not even a little excited.
Man, sucks to be
You've
the
always
Hulk.
wanted to see the
Yeah.
Hulk match up against a villain that could equal his powers. Well, too bad, because he's fighting the skinny British guy from Reservoir Dogs. He's a decorated veteran with zero personal connection to Bruce Banner and zero threat to the Hulk. But when he shoots himself full of tainted Captain America juice, he'll turn into one of the most forgettable monsters in the MCU.
The mixture could be an abomination.
That was
So
so,
cheesy.
bad, he got his ass kicked all the way to Batman v Superman.
Dude, wow, I've seen the side by side. Wow.
Had this whole universe thing on autopilot, where our nerd boners would only get little tastes of fan service. A sequel was only lightly implied instead of blatantly setting up 5 more movies. It put its post-credit scene before the credits,
What if I told you we were putting a team together?
and didn't make $1 billion. Oh, that's like Green Lantern money. Ugh.
I know what it's like to not live up to expectations.
So strap in for this odd sequel, requel, reboot, origin movie that's better than we give it credit for. Because whatever you think about the film itself, it gave us Mark Ruffalo
Truly God.
and paved the way for Ed Norton to join Wes Anderson's Fancy Boy Cinematic Universe. Oh man, I cannot wait for the Royal Tenenbaums to fight Steve Zissou in Budapest Hotel Infinity Floor. Okay, Green Goblin, nobody punches out Flash Thompson in this quirky hotel and gets away with it. Starring I Am Jack's departure due to creative differences. Iggy Pop.
Iggy Pop.
Y'all got an Iron Man suit that he's voicing? And Teenage Mutant Ninja Heroin Addict. The Disposable Hulk.
Oh, burn.
¿Dónde estoy?
In Guatemala.
Yeah, it's probably not the first time a white guy got so hammered in Brazil he woke up half naked in Guatemala. Spring Break 97. Woo! Don't sweat the petty things.
That's more than I ever wanted to know about you, John Bailey.
Oh, hell no, Karen. Keep your bland-ass potato salad to yourself. I control all the bats. All the bats. Clouds are just ghost sheep. $50 fine and time served.
Oh, okay.
No.
That was delightful.
It was so random, though, the bringing in the Wes Anderson bit. I mean, I get it, but it was still just, like, really left field.
This is because Edward Norton has become one of his, like, go-to actors. I thought they were going to be a little more harsh on this movie, actually. I felt like they were kind of a little light.
I know.
On actually insulting you.
And looking back at the effects, too, like, they're a little dated. I'm surprised they didn't, like...
They're a little
fun of
dated.
that.
I remember when they had the Hulk come in, I thought what was clever about it was they darkened the cinematography and they darkened the Hulk because that way it looked a little bit more real. At the time, it looked like incredibly good. Like that whole fight scene with him and Abomination, I thought looked amazing the first time I saw it. The only reason I rewatched it in theaters was just to watch that finale one last time. Edward Norton in this movie, I think, is a very boring Bruce Banner.
Yeah, I know, which is too bad because Ed Norton is usually like such a...
He's a compelling actor.
He's a very compelling actor. He's always having such fun with all of his roles.
Yeah.
And this one is just like, man.
It seemed like he didn't want to be in the movie. I did not know that was his fake name, Edward Harrison.
I did not know about that little piece of trivia. That's so weird.
That's a really interesting fact right there. Because I heard he did some like annoying rewrites that pissed off everyone.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't know that they had put him in as like a screenwriter though, just under a different name.
And Liv Tyler never coming back, I think is a great point. I don't think she's never even mentioned.
I know.
And that's his Pepper Potts.
I know, and I love Liv Tyler too. I would love to see her in the MCU more.
I would love to see her in it too. It's funny that only like William Hurt, who plays General Ross, is the only one who's come back. And I feel like Liv Tyler's character is such an important character to Bruce Banner. The last time we saw Bruce have any type of romantic interest was with Natasha Romanoff.
Unless you, yeah, exactly, yeah, Black Widow. Just because I'm thinking of her, I think they could have come up with a better starring role for Liv Tyler's character.
Still thought it was funny. Still thought it a good job. I mean, I couldn't put this together.
Yeah.
so yeah, like kudos to them for that.
But I think they could have poked a little bit more fun at it.
Yeah, I think they could have been a little bit harsher on it. If a woman really loves a man and if he had this whole gamma ray problem, she would just let him do it as the Hulk.
No comment.
I think Adorkable Rachel agrees. And I think if you have a Hulk problem, find her on Tinder. She will agree to date. That's why you came here, right? You wanted me to plug you on Tinder? You know what I remember about this post-credit scene? Or what should have been a post-credit scene and not the ending with Iron Man and Ross? They showed that in the trailer.
Oh, they did, didn't they?
They were so desperate to get people to see this movie.
They wanted people to know it was part of the MCU before they went and saw it. Come on, guys. That would have been a lot better if we just knew afterwards, because then it would have been a nice surprise.
It would have been a nice surprise, but they had to get this scene before the credits. And they also had to show it in the trailer, which is kind of like negates the whole effect of the scene. Because that's a big mislead.
Yeah.
I saw this at an advanced screening to promote the movie, not like a press screening.
Okay, yeah.
Where they're like, we got to get audiences to see it so people can hype this up. There was no trailer out that showed Iron Man in it. And I think when they did the trailers for this, they were like, no one's going to care about it. And I think a lot of people walked into this movie feeling disappointed that Iron Man's not even in the movie. Because
that makes sense.
The trailers
I'd
make
be
it
a little
look
mad.
like he's in it. Yeah.
I'd be a little mad too if I saw Tony Stark and there was no Iron Man in there at all. When I first saw this movie, I didn't think it had any connection to MCU whatsoever. Then all of a sudden, Tony Stark was at the end, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I don't know. Why would you show that in the
Why
trailers?
would you show that in the trailer itself? And I like that they put out the box office report on this, because this is like technically the only Marvel film in the MCU that has not performed well.
Right.
In terms of like
And it's
box
not
office
even the
wise.
worst one either, or at least it's not the least bad.
I think it's the least engaging one. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not.
I don't hate Thor: The Dark World like everyone else does. I know everyone doesn't like Thor: The Dark World. I'm like one of the few who actually enjoys that movie.
I just feel like I'm just not as able to get into it like the other ones. That's all.
I've always thought Doomsday and BVS look like Abomination.
I didn't think about that until I saw that.
Now they put the side by side, and I'm like, wow, they look almost exactly alike, except Doomsday is just a little darker.
Except Doomsday actually looks a little cooler.
In comparison to Abomination, he looks a little cooler.
The one nice thing I can say about Doomsday, he looks a lot better
than Abomination.
Yes.
Anyway, Screen Junkies, thanks for putting this together. Had a good time. John Bailey, great voiceover as always. And if you guys want to know a thing or two about John Bailey, he will break into that voice whether or not he's recording in a voice booth. As a matter of fact, John Bailey breaks into a lot of voices when you're just hanging out with the guy.
You should watch him on Stardust. He does impressions of a lot of people on his reactions, by the way.
You should just hang out with him. He'll do plenty of impressions without you even being prepared for it.
He's such a talented guy. He's a real cool dude.
He's a talented man. Anyway, guys, you can subscribe to the Reject Nation. Click that notification bell. More importantly, don't subscribe to us. Subscribe to Adorkable Rachel. Reactions, reviews over on her channel as well. Trust me, well worth it, or else I wouldn't have invited her on.
Aw, thanks, Greg. Don't smash.
Don't smash!